everyone, and welcome to a special interview segment with one of our sponsors. I'm so glad we got him on. Great guy. I love when I run into him. He puts a smile on my face. I ran into him at Ace Frehley, and we're talking about doing the podcast like a week before, and he goes, "When are you going to get me on?" And we've been trying to get him on, and certain things happen, and life happens, and us old guys, we got things going on, and
we forget things.
Yeah, and we forget. Yes, we definitely
Doesn't
forget.
mean you're not special.
Definitely special when it comes to stuff like this. So, first off, I just want to say thanks, Roger, for coming on. Like I said, every time I see you, I get a handshake from you, and I'm usually with one of the kids. We're at an event, and it's always fun just to see you. And like I said,
it's too easy to be somebody's friend. I hope everybody remembers that. The time you're a jerk to somebody, you're not their friend anymore. It's not worth it.
Yeah. The first time we ran into Roger, we were at Rhode Island Comic Con, and we were standing in line, and he found out that Tom was from the same area, and they got talking, and next thing you know, we were at events together, and it's
Did I sneak you in?
I think you might have snuck one.
Did I sneak you guys in? I sneak everybody in.
Yeah. Good time.
Don't tell Steve from Rhode Island Comic Con.
Yeah. It's great, good stuff. So we'll start with Tom. Roger from the area, so hit him up with some stuff, Thomas.
All right, Roger. I got a few questions about the record store, if you don't mind.
Sure.
What made you want to open up your own record store?
I used to own a tattoo shop, and towards the end of it, everybody gets really tired of a profession sometimes. Tattoo shop kind of just turned the way I didn't want it to go. So I started buying and selling things. So I was buying action figures. I was buying little cars. I was like a parent who shut a little kid up for a $3 toy, 100%. So I'd sell blue jeans. I'd sell. Sorry, I'm at a club right now. I'd sell all kinds of whatever I could put on a table, I could sell, and I could flip it. But then I started getting into records, and I started to, certain records have value. So after doing the flea market for a couple of years, it wasn't a flea market business anymore. So I decided to open a store, and for the most part, I do okay. I think in life you can get through life if you don't overextend yourself and you don't overspend. Let it be business or personal.
Yeah,
So,
you've really outgrown you've really grown, and you outgrew the place on Purchase Street, right?
Yeah, I buy too much shit. Stuff.
Tom, let me pause you right there. There is a backstory with Roger's love of music. His uncle, who actually he wrote a book about. Do you want to talk about that real quick, Roger?
Yeah, no problem. If it wasn't for him, or actually, if it wasn't for my father, I wouldn't be here. But my uncle's, music profession, has brought me a whole different take on life. He was the touring and recording drummer for Billy Squier.
Right, and there's a book out about that, right, Roger? If somebody wants to buy the book.
No, I'm sold out. I don't have any more.
Okay. But at one time there was a book in case somebody wants to do a deep dive and pay money for it.
Sometimes they come up on eBay, but people want too much money for them. The book wasn't that good. Don't pay a lot of money for it.
And how do you decide what albums to sell, Roger? Is that what you wanted to listen to, or do you go by value, or?
Say that one more time. Sorry, it's just loud.
How do you decide what albums you're gonna sell?
You never know. Some stuff I have is insane, super rare, and it doesn't sell. And then somebody will come in for a bread record. I wish I could figure out what would sell, and I'd actually make money. But it's just mainly I stay with the whole rock and roll genre, the modern stuff, everything like Nirvana to ZZ Top to Aerosmith, some hip hop stuff like Beastie Boys, and to the modern pop stuff, the Taylor Swift, the Weeknd.
Now that you've done this for a few years, What's something that you know now that you wish you knew when you started this all out?
Don't overbuy. Like you can always get product. If it's used, buy it all the time. But certain new items, don't overbuy for it because it's always there for you to get. And you
Nice.
can get it in a couple days, you know.
Nice. And say someone came in and they were starting a vinyl record and they asked you what 3 albums were must-haves. Do you have 3 albums that you think every collector should have?
All right, so I can't say Billy Squire. Can't say it. I guess it would depend on the age of the person. You know, so like an 80s metal kid, Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil. Van Halen 1. And probably Def Leppard Pyromania.
Oh, nice.
No,
Nice.
You know what? Cinderella Night Song. Like, Fred Curry's like a fan of my band, so if he ever sees this, he'd yell at me right now.
Nice.
So,
Little
And
side note.
You got to throw in Kiss Dynasty on that one just for.
I mean, I love the Love Gun stuff. I like the 80s Kiss stuff.
Oh, I
The
do
Bruce
too.
Kulick stuff, real sing-songy. Some of the 70s Kiss is kind of corny. You know what I mean? A little off-ball.
Yeah.
Like some of the Van Halen stuff is, I don't want to say it's corny, but it's not like, I like song-orientated stuff a little
Yeah.
bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Now, I know some people when they have a start a business, they like save their first dollar that they have. Do you remember what your first album you sold was?
Oh, Power Trip.
Really?
Yeah, it was a Power Trip record, and we actually tagged the band, and they liked it or something like that. That was the first record at the store on Purchase Street. I remember that.
Nice.
I spent that dollar. It was a while ago.
Now,
Reinvested. You reinvested it.
yeah.
Everything I keep telling myself that. I'll keep buying this shit. It's a good investment, you know?
Yeah.
Now, at the store, you don't just sell records, right? You sell T-shirts and video games and
CDs, tapes. I buy video games. My cousin does that hustle, so I flip the stuff to him sometimes. But we have T-shirts, sweatshirts, patches, pins. We try to be that nostalgic '80s store that I went to when I was a kid. I guess.
Yeah. The old Midland Records in the mall.
Yeah, it's fun. Like I'm wearing a vest right now, and at the show, there's about 8 other dudes that like made their vests from my store here, so it's fun.
nice. Yeah, it must be wild going to concerts. I see you post all the time when you're at like the Tweeter Center and you tell people to and you see people wearing your T-shirts there and stuff. That must be pretty cool feeling.
I've sold a lot of stuff. I really have.
I'll have to go on record and say, from being a T-shirt guy, I love the T-shirts. The T-shirts are definitely the thing I like the best. I mean, the parody of it and the whole thing is, the thing I like the most.
Nice.
And I only make enough not to get arrested.
You got that right. You got that right. I love it.
I'd be no good in jail.
I know not only are you a record store owner, but you're a really good drummer and you're in a band. So why don't you tell us a little about that?
And what you got going on right now, Roger, with the band? Because the first time I had ever seen you play drums, it was for opening up for Gene Simmons when he came to the
yeah.
And I thought it was fantastic. I mean, that whole even
we were a cover band at that time. The band's called All Sinners, and I'm an okay drummer. I always surround myself with better players. Like my singer, this kid could sing for anybody. He really could. Great. I've always been a fan of his, Mike Golars, since we've been like 18, 19 years old. Very talented. Nick Testone, guitar player, doesn't know how good he is. Like, he just doesn't. Like, flawless. The kid plays note for note every time. And then Bruce Morrison's my first bass player of all time. So it's kind of cool because like we started out like in a basement. We're still in a basement, but like we're starting to play with a lot more notable bands. We played with Lita Ford the other night. We played with Stephen Piercy, Quiet Riot. We played in New Hampshire. We're up for Best New Act of New England right now. You find our page. You can vote for us if you dig us. But we're trying. We're all middle aged. Everybody has. I don't have kids, but like everybody's got kids, and it's hard for everybody to tour and everything else. So mainly, I want to play some big shows with these dudes and have a good time. And when we say we're done, we're done.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
it.
Go ahead. I know you've got a big gig coming up in what is it, New Year's Eve in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, we played with LA Guns a couple months ago, and Ace Van Johnson sent a video to the gentleman from the whiskey, and the dude dug us. And I get off stage, and I see this text. Hey, do you want to play the whiskey New Year's Eve? And I'm like, who's playing a joke on me right now? Like, come on. That's like opening up to the Pope at the Vatican. That's LA Guns, Sunset
Right.
Strip. Like, you don't get much cooler than that. You just don't. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So it's for life and a big milestone. Like, who's ever going to be a millionaire? Who else is going to be a rock star? There's not going to be another Nikki Sixx or another Mick Jagger. But you know what? There's going to be this guy, Roger. When I put my sticks down, I said I did everything I could really do. And that's
Awesome.
what means something to me.
Yeah, really cool. I mean, that's if you grew up in that time when the Sunset Strip was booming, and if you've seen like Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2, you know how it was with Gazaris and all those places like that. So to have a chance to be a part of something that was iconic at one time, I mean, what more can you ask for?
I just it's gonna be able to be cool. Walk in. I used to drum tech for Overkill, so I've been to the whiskey before. And just to walk backstage, just to just be in the area that the history's been made. It's not much cooler than that. It really isn't.
Yeah, very cool. That's very cool. If people want to find out about how to, follow the band or stuff like that, Roger, where can they follow like the tour dates of what the band's got going on Facebook, or do you have an actual web page?
We're working on a web page right now, allsinnerspelt.com. You can go to purchasestreetrecords.com. We have all that stuff on there. And then we have we're on Spotify and all that platforms. And then we're on Facebook, Purchase Street Records, and then All Sinners on Facebook. And
Cool.
Instagram too.
When you gave me the CD, I had a chance to listen to it. Really cool. Tom listened to it also. It's really good. If somebody likes that genre, and I don't know what style of music, currently people are into that follow the podcast, but I definitely say if you're a fan of local bands or up and coming bands, I enjoyed it. I really did.
I gave it to a guy today. It was funny. I gave it to a guy today. He bought like a striper pad and a rat tape. I'm like, hey man, you got a CD player? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, here you go. He goes, what's this? I'm like, you just bought that. You're gonna dig it. Like, just take it.
Yeah.
It's just
I
getting
liked
the
it.
right person to listen to it.
Oh yeah. My son's 12 and he plays guitar, and I told him, hey, just listen to this. And he was like, oh, who is that? And I had to tell him who it was. And he thought it was like a classic rock band that I was just trying to get him to listen to. So even like a younger person that has an ear for that kind of style of music, he liked it too. So, it's if you like that kind of music, you will really enjoy the CD. My personal opinion.
My friend's wife, he put it on for her in the car. And she's like, who's this, Bon Jovi? He's like, no, it's Roger's band. She goes, come on, it's Bon Jovi.
No,
So
I
it has that
surprisingly,
80s zest.
yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And like I said, I reached out to Tom when I told him we were trying to get you on, and he listened to it, and he had the same thoughts right
Yeah.
off the rip.
The Hunted and Rise Up were my two favorite songs that I listened to.
Yeah, Rise Up was probably my favorite.
I'm a fan of the whole thing. It has ups, and we're trying to get signed to a label, and I want somebody else to pay for it, put it out. Let's see what happens. You know.
When do you sleep? You're doing all these things, man. You're a hustler. You know.
I try to. I have 4 dogs. The house I have to take care of and everything, and I really try to put effort into everything equally. I guess, you know.
Well, you're doing a good job, man. Jeez. That's all I have. Andy, do you have anything else?
No, I just want to say that I, as we're trying to grow this podcast, I want to say I appreciate it, Roger. We're trying to, grow a little bit here and there, and thanks for doing the album segment for us. Hopefully, we can grow that a little bit and kind of
Yeah.
send people your way, and every week we'll try to promote as much as we can.
I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
What's your 3 must 80s records?
Oh,
If you were working at my store on a Saturday and some young kid comes in and goes, listen, I'm into hair metal. What's the 3 that I must have?
3 hair metal bands.
Twisted Sister. It's one of my favorite bands back then. Anything from them. Quiet Riot was another one, and I hate to say it, but my first concert was Def Leppard, so it probably would have been Def Leppard Pyromania.
What Def Leppard what show was your first concert?
It was in Providence. I'm trying to think who the heck, what year it was. It had to be around 1990.
Was it Queensryche?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it might have been.
Okay. Or Tesla, one or the other.
No, it was definitely Queensryche.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Rat Out of the Cellar. I love that record. I love Rat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, Pyromania, just because of how much of impact it was. Even
Masterpiece.
though I like High and Dry better. That's just me. I'm gonna have to say, because I'm gonna stay away from my big 3 of AC/DC, Van Halen, and Kiss. I'm gonna stay away from those, and I'll go the Whitesnake album with all the hits on it. They were
self-title.
Yeah, they were a hair band at that time, and who doesn't love Tawny Kitaen on a Jaguar? Right?
She broke everybody's heart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
As every woman does. It happens. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. So what we'll do, Roger, is we'll let you go, and we're gonna try to add this to this week's episode. And I just want to say thanks, and I know you're busy, and thanks for coming on, and hopefully we can do it again.
I didn't forget, and I thank you guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Roger.
you so much, Roger. We
Bye,
appreciate
guys.
it. Have a great one.
Bye.
See you, man.